we meet again. Wow, it has been some time. I don't know what to say, where to start. It's obviously been a minute since I've done a makeup tutorial. All I can say is that I feel revived and I feel like I have a renewed love for this. A lot's happened for all of us. I hope you're doing really well. I know it's been a tough time, but I am feeling really eager and excited to do makeup tutorials and other kinds of videos again. And I wanted to come back with this look. It's not something I wear very often, but I got this new palette that has cream shadows in it. So I really wanted to show you how to use them. And I'm just gonna give you like little bits of updates here and there about life in the last, I don't know, how long has it been since I posted? A while. So anyway, I hope you're excited. Let's jump into this look. All right, naturally a little rusty here, so bear with me. So let's just get this hair back out of my face. All right, beginning with the skin. This is a dark eye makeup look, but we're not actually using any powder eyeshadow, so we're not gonna get any fallout, so I can start with my skin. Actually really excited to start with something I've been loving since I tried it. I started using this about 2 months ago. This is by Ilia. It's their Super Serum Skin Tint. You know I'm all about dew. I love lightweight, dewy, light to medium coverage products. The color that I'm using is called Papakolea, I think. It's the 12.75. The brush I'm about to use is by Tarte and it's very old, but I'm using this because it's not dense at all. You see how it's just like a duo fiber, very light, very sparse. That's the kind of brush I want to use for a more lightweight product. So I'm just gonna go in, apply directly and just fluff this around my face. Oh, do you see already that dew, that glow? And applying it with a brush like this just makes it that much more light. It's not gonna go on super heavy. What was that? And here's the thing about the look I'm creating today. I purposely paired this eye with this skin today because I just want to remind you that just because you're doing a dark eye makeup look, something more smoky and dramatic, doesn't mean your skin also has to be heavy, full coverage, super powdery. It's actually very editorial and very clean and beautiful to do a more heavy eye with dewy, lighter coverage skin. So here's where you can go in and really do some like correcting and perfecting is with concealer. I'm using the Dior Forever Skin Correct in 2WO. And I'm not applying much, as usual. Some things that never change. I just saw on TikTok that all of a sudden it's trendy to do your concealer this way. And I'm just gonna take this brush by Tom Ford and start to blend it out and really just focus on these areas where I get a little bit of darkness and just brightening up the center here. My philosophy with makeup has not changed. Less is more. Still, I still very much prefer to achieve the look with the least amount of product possible. And if you remember, I also really like to use my hands. So let's start to catch up a little bit. So the last year obviously has been hard. The last year and a half actually has been really hard for all of us. But as difficult as it's been, as many, setbacks as there have been, I've kind of just chosen to take more of a positive, optimistic approach because we're having to go through it anyway. So might as well be positive about it and try to be more solution oriented. So I've seen a lot of people being so hostile toward each other, but I just found no value in arguing with strangers on the internet and getting nowhere. So I've just kind of been focusing on myself, my family, my friends, and just, like I said, being optimistic, looking forward to a better future. So as difficult as the last 18 months have been, I think it's also taught a lot of us a lot. You can see I've been clearly using so much of this, the Airbrush Flawless Filter powder from Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of my favorites, and I'm very, very particular about powder. So I am still using and loving this one. And since we've got a more kind of dewy base, with whatever's left on my brush after I do my under eyes, I'm just gonna kind of swipe it across the center I'm not gonna put any more product on it because, you know, I don't like that mattified finish. I like it to stay dewy, but we also don't want to be like shiny. All right, more new products that I'm loving by Persona Cosmetics. This is a bronze multi-stick. I have here Dune and Sahara. This I love. You know I love cream products. Anything cream I love. So I'm gonna use Dune first to go in and add a little warmth. And then with Sahara, I'm going to just add more definition with a little more depth. Get that multi-dimensional contour. And I'm actually just going to use the same brush that I used to apply my base. And just blend that out. Just going to sweep that under my jawline. Let's see what else is new. I just recently went to Greece with my girlfriends. We went to Mykonos. It's my first time on the island. And after I went to Brussels, because my boo's over there, he's working. We've actually been apart since June 5th. So it's been some time. So it was nice to see him at least for a little bit. I was there for like a week. I actually think I want a little bit more definition. So I'm gonna take just Sahara this time and really go for it. Just like always, some things never change. I really just like to build. I won't go in very heavy with anything to begin with. It's the same way I would if I was, you know, doing a painting. I'm not gonna, you know, just throw a bunch of paint onto the canvas at once. I'm gonna build slowly. So same with my face. I really just want to build and not do too much. Oof, I'm sweating, I'm nervous. It's been a while. Okay, so for my blush, I'm gonna use this one by Jillian Dempsey. It's the Cheek Tint in Sunny. Really nice product. And again, another brush that is not dense at all, especially with a cream blush. You don't wanna go in with anything that's like a kabuki brush, something dense. Don't ever do that because you're just gonna get a streak of blush. Instead, you wanna go in with something like this that's very light and sparse. The duo fibers are usually like that. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that, a little higher up on my cheek because I'm a little fuller in the face these days. It's part of the reason I kind of just dipped out of YouTube for a little while because I was kind of sick of hearing, why did you put filler in your face? I gained weight and I'm totally okay with it. I'm happy where I am, but I did not appreciate those specific comments. So putting the blush a little bit higher up is just gonna give me a little more of a narrowing effect on my face. And since I'm nervous and sweaty, I am getting a little more greasy, so I'm gonna go back with a little bit more powder. I'll get better at this, I promise. And now just to add a little bit of highlight to my face, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite brands, Guerlain. It's their Terracotta highlighting stick. So I'm just going to apply that directly, and it really packs a punch, so you don't have to apply too much. And I'm actually just going to use the same brush that I used to blend in my blush to just blend that out. Okay, so this base is pretty good. I'm gonna actually, before I move on to the eyes, just do my brows. Another one that I love from Persona is the Swipe Up Brow Gel. This is the best. It makes my brows nice and fluffy. It looks like I have the brow lamination. And it kind of just, I don't know, it's just perfect. So speaking of Monday Born, that's kind of another reason I've been away is I've been building this brand. Obviously the first year of building a brand is one of the most difficult. You're just working on brand awareness, trying to get it off the runway. So it's been a very rewarding experience, probably the best experience of my life. But it's also been extremely challenging to, you know, juggle anything more than Monday Born. But now I'm getting to a point where it's kind of turning into more of a well-oiled machine where I can like actually use a little bit of extra time to do other things. I knew that having a brand was going to be difficult. I really just did not anticipate how difficult it was going to be. But it has been so completely worth it because just seeing the responses from people, the feedback we've been getting, the reviews that I've been reading, the articles that have been coming out about Monday Born, I just feel like it has revived me. I just started to feel so stale in this industry doing what I'm doing. But just Monday Born alone has kind of just reignited my love for beauty. And obviously now I'm back here doing this. So I'm very happy. All right, so brows and skin are done. You can absolutely stop here if you wanted to. It's a very fresh look. But I'm gonna show you how I got that brown smoky look with all cream products. So for this look, I'm using the Papakolea eyeshadow palette. It's called Major Dimension. I went to the launch event for this and I was so impressed with this palette. The best part of this is the two that I'm gonna use. It's got a little door that has a medium brown and a deeper brown cream shadow. So you can create so many different looks with something like this. You can start with a cream base and then layer over with any of these matte or shimmers. So I'm gonna take this flat brush. This is by Hank & Henry. It's called the Anna brush. And I'm gonna dip into this color right here, this medium brown. And this is just gonna be our base. I'm really just applying it all over my lid. First getting the color all over from lash line to crease. And then once I get to the crease, I'm just gonna start blending it out. You can continue doing it with your brush or you can do it with your fingers, up to you. And then you can use, because it is cream, you can use your finger to just blend it out. You see how pretty that turned out? And then again on the other side, this is actually such an easy look. Just lay down that color with a flat brush. Don't extend past the crease just yet. And then once you get to the crease, you can kind of just finesse that up. Just shimmy that color up toward your brow bone and fade it out. And the reason I'm using a flat brush is I can use the flat end right now to hopefully not poke myself in the eye. Just lay down that color on the bottom lash line too. So just using the pointy side of this flat brush. I feel like we really underestimate just a simple brown color on the eyes. It really just makes such a difference. Like I could totally leave it this way and just put some mascara on. I think actually I will switch brushes to a smaller one. This is also by Hank & Henry. It's the Nicole brush. So I'm gonna use this to dip into the deeper brown shade. I'm mostly just dipping the tip of the brush in there. And with this, I'm going to start at the lash line, but kind of keep this deeper color no further than halfway into the inner part of my lid. So we're just kind of focusing it on the outer edge. And again, blending it out into that wing shape. I'm personally more of a fan of like a smoky wing than a sharp wing, even though I like to play around with a sharp wing here and there. It is just, I don't know, I think it suits me a little bit more. And then again, going in on the other side with the same deeper brown cream shadow. And I'm anchoring my pinky just so I get enough control to only get this color exactly where I want. And then just compare the two sides and make sure they are somewhat matching. And then again with the darker shade, I'm going to only apply that into the inner part of my bottom lash line. I'm not gonna extend all the way out. Because remember, we put a little darkness in here, it's gonna create more of that cat shape. Darkness here creates that angled look. If you put darkness here, it's gonna draw your eye down and make it look droopy. You don't want that. Unless you do. If you do, go ahead. Try to get it as tight into the inner part as possible. So for my liner, I'm gonna use this by Pixi. It's one of my all-time favorites and you can find it at Target, super affordable. It's their Endless Silky Eye Pen and this is the color black. So with this, I'm actually gonna use this inside and outside. So let's start right here at the outer corner and just create a little bit of a messy line. It doesn't have to be anything clean, because remember, we're smoking it out. So I'm gonna use that same brush here and just blend that out and create that smokiness and blend it with the dark brown. So I'm just creating little strokes until it creates that nice smoked out wing look. And again, using the flat side, the pointy side of the flat brush, just start to blend that in with the deeper brown shade. And again, don't go any further past the halfway point on your lid, because the more you put into the center, it's gonna draw your eyes closer together. So I try to focus as much of that darkness on the outside as possible, unless your eyes are further apart and you want to create that illusion. So now going back to the Endless Silky eye pen, I'm gonna line the inner rim of my eye. And this is precision work here because I usually end up poking myself in the eye when I do this. Hit that inner part as well, the waterline. I know this is terrifying to see me with my eyes wide open like that. I'm not usually a fan of doing that, but it actually really transforms the look. It makes it much more sexy, I guess. And finishing up the eyes with the Faux mascara from YSL, an all-time favorite. And I'm gonna focus this mostly on the outer edge here. I considered putting on false lashes for this, but as always, I kind of just decided not to. There's a pair I really, really like, but I'll show you in an upcoming video on a more natural look because it's such a pretty pair of lashes. They're corner lashes and they're beautiful. So I'll show you those in the next one. I'm trying to think what else I could tell you guys that I've been working on the last year. In all honesty, healing has been a huge thing for me these past, 8-9 months. It's just been, it became so necessary. I feel like when you reach a point in life where, I don't want to say rock bottom, but like just, it becomes so glaringly obvious that you need to focus on healing and like working on yourself. That's kind of, I came to that point earlier this year and I really just started making healing a priority. And it was not, it is not, because it's still going. It's not a fun process. It's not an easy process, but when you really start to just look at your past and look at everything you've been through and start to undo everything, start to try to make sense of everything, you come out the other side. It's so draining and it's so exhausting, but you really, you start to see little bits of progress and awareness about why you do things the way you do, what triggers you. It's a lot of like, talking to yourself. And once you start seeing a little bit of progress, it really is just so rewarding. So it has been, for that reason, it's been a better year than I expected. So moving on to the lips, I'm going to use this lip definer by Victoria Beckham. It's the number 2. Really nice color for lining your lips or contouring your lips. And I definitely wanted to do a glossy lip for this. I'm going to use this by Smashbox. It's called Gloss Angeles. And I don't even know if they make this anymore, but if they don't, they should, because it's such a pretty opaque pinky nude. Very, very glossy. So that's it. That's it for my first time back. How did I do? Did you like this look? I feel like it's a good one. It's neutral, it's versatile. I'm about to head to my friend's house for dinner, so I'm just gonna actually keep this on for once. For once, I'm going to keep a makeup look on. I'm not gonna do a tutorial and go wash it off. Off to a good start. It's great to be back. I'm really happy to be here with you, and I will be here more. So I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. See ya.